It's the hour of the Beastie, and welcome to the new Beastie O'Clock show, where each month we'll be delving into the latest Wee Beastie offering from Harviestoun. On each show, we'll be talking through the latest release and giving you the details of where you'll be able to catch a taste of these exclusive releases. I'm Steve, and joining me from the bottom of an empty Wee Beastie delivery box is my co-host and all-round Beastie bearded beery bloke, Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing, mate?
You're not too bad, thank you.
Also joining us for this launch episode is Shaun from Harviestoun. Welcome, Shaun.
Hi there, guys. How are we all doing?
We're good, thank you. Yourself?
Good. Excited.
And tonight, Shaun, you're going to be talking us through the Wee Beastie concept, and we'll get round to that shortly. So, first of all, I thought, Mark, what are we doing here, mate? This is something slightly different for us. What's going on?
Well, it is a little bit. It's a spin-off series of, obviously, the world-famous Beer O'Clock show. So, Shaun got in touch with us and asked if we would like to do a little collab with them as far as promoting these funny little beers they're putting out now and then for this year under the Wee Beastie moniker. So that's basically what the Beastie O'Clock show is. It's a little showcase of the Wee Beastie beers that the guys up in Scotland are bringing out monthly-ish, I suppose it's going to work out to be. So we're doing the audio stuff and a little bit of Twitter stuff, and our buddy Justin Mason is doing some bloggy stuff, and we'll be linking to him, and he'll be linking back to us, and all that kind of thing, kind of getting a rounded view of these really limited edition beers that are coming out under this Wee Beastie moniker from Harviestoun.
It certainly sounds like an exciting year that we've got ahead with this. Shaun, tell us, what's Wee Beastie? What is it? Is it obviously we've decided now, we've worked out now it's not a single beer, it's going to be a series of beer, but what's the concept behind it? Where did this mad idea come from?
So the whole concept started with myself and Amy, our head, and a huge craft beer fan like myself, and we were sat around at the Christmas party before, and we were talking to Toby, our managing director, saying, how we would love to, in the next year or so, come out with a range of beers that are something different and something unique, and go back to Harviestoun's heritage of one-offs, brewing, the first of its kind style beer in the UK. So really what we're looking to do is play around with malt bases, play around with hop content and varietals, play around with different ingredients that haven't really been used in the production of beer before, or they might have, but maybe not have been shouted about as much or used in the way that we intend to use them, and come up with some crazy beers that people will appreciate and will make people want to find them. They're all very, very limited batch beers. We're talking maybe 400 bottles of each run, and there's just something different for the craft beer drinker. Something that you can really get your teeth into, and that's really, really where the idea came from behind it. We all wanted to make something great and something excellent, and we've been given the opportunity to do that, which is fantastic.
Okay, you say they're going to be they're limited run beers, and they're going to be coming out at a rate of about one a month. Now, how are people going to be able to get hold of these beers?
So another part of the concept is how do we shout about this and where best to launch it. And we thought something like this, we can't really keep to ourselves. We can't keep it in one location. We couldn't just do it in London. The beer scene in London is crazy as it is. We couldn't do it only up in Scotland, just because we thought that would be unfair to the rest of the country. So we decided that what we would do is we would make at least one beer every month and launch it with an event in different parts. Part of it we're launching at Craft Beer Rising to sort of the trade and some of the people over the course of the weekend, slowly but surely. And then, next month we have a phenomenal event at the Elgin in Maida Vale in conjunction with Urban Leisure Group, which is going to be fantastic. And then from there it goes to the next event, which is looking to be Brighton and we're looking to do something in Bath and Bristol and Manchester and Liverpool, and basically spread the love around the whole country to really show people what we're capable of and give everybody an equal opportunity to try at least one of this amazing range of really quirky, out there beers.
And we're lucky enough to be working with you guys on this, which we're really grateful for. So thanks for pulling us in on this. We're going to be getting a sample of these beers, and that's where the concept of the Beastie O'Clock show comes from, because we're going to tell you what these beers are about, tell you what they taste like, and then tell you where you can find them. This evening, we're starting with two of what I believe were kind of part of a pilot range that you've put together to launch the series with. So we've got a barley wine, which is a new venture for Harviestoun, and then we've got Old Engine Oil Engineers Reserve, which people have seen before. So what's so different about this one, Shaun? Why have we got Old Engine Oil Engineers Reserve here?
So firstly, let me just say, it's a pleasure to have you guys on board, and really, really excited to be, shouting about this. And we thought a great way of getting the word out there and getting more people to be able to understand what it is that we're doing was by bringing someone like you guys on board. First of all. Second of all, yes, you've got two beers there. One of them is a barley wine, a new sort of idea that we were throwing around last year when we were first toying with the concept of Wee Beastie. And we came out with this lovely barley wine, and it truly is lovely. And then with the Old Engineers Reserve, Engineers Reserve, I don't know if many people know where it comes from, but it was basically when we started exporting Oladu to the States. They requested the unaged version of the beer. As we know, the beer drinkers like to try the raw beer before it's aged, or they like to try something a bit different. And so we brewed Engineers Reserve, and found that it actually is a lovely, lovely beer. It's quite strong at 9.5%, so a bit stronger than Oladu and Old Engine Oil. But the point of difference with the one that you're trying there is that it is actually a bottle conditioned, unaltered version of engine oil. So it's going to have all of that beautiful yeast content. It's going to have all of that beautiful malt, all of that residual sugar, just sitting there waiting to make the beer taste absolutely amazing.
Okay, well, we're gonna get stuck in these in a minute. Shaun, thanks for coming on to the first Beastie O'Clock show. We'll no doubt be having you back on throughout the series of these little one-offs that we'll be doing, and we'll look forward to chatting to you again.
Definitely look forward to it, gents, and really enjoy the beers. And I look forward to seeing you at Craft Beer Rising later on this week.
Thank you. You too, mate.
Indeed. Cheers, mate.
Have a great night, gents.
Right then, so let's get into these beers, shall we, mate?
Yes.
You're gonna lead through these, I think, seeing as we've spun everything on its head for this little series. So
Okay.
where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the barley wine or the Old Engine Oil Engineers Reserve?
I'll tell you what, let's start from the bottom and work our way up. So let's start with the barley wine, because it is a massive 1.5% ABV, weaker than the Old Engine Oil.
It's got a really nice barley wine aroma to it. And I know that sounds like a really obvious thing to say, but the aroma on it is exactly what you'd expect from a barley wine.
Oh, that smells lovely. Let's give it a pour. Oh, it's nice and active.
It is.
Nice,
it comes
nice
out
head
of
on
the
that.
pipe. It's dark brown, dark red hue to it. Lovely,
It's got a lovely
foamy
toffee
white
colour
head.
to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. What are you getting on the aroma there, mate?
Not quite sure. I'm a bit bunged up tonight. Well, like you say, that typical barley wine aroma is there.
It's got that big, heavy malt, sort of caramel malt to it. A little bit of fruit in the background.
My head poured quite thick, so I'm not sure how much I'm getting out. I'm going to get into it to work my way through the head.
Let's do this.
All right.
Here's to Wee Beastie, then.
Wee Beastie.
Oh, that's good. Oh, it's really warming as well as it goes down.
It's got lovely and warm on the back end.
Yeah.
Very sweet, very malty. Getting lovely biscuitiness from it.
You get a sweetness up front that very quickly gives way to very well balanced flavours. It's a little bit of earthiness in there, and as you say, some biscuits, a little bit of caramel, and then a real soft, warming finish to it.
Doesn't have quite that spirit edge that I've had from some barley wines before, but that warming on the back that you're left with, it's lovely.
Yeah, so this is this one hasn't been barrel aged, so this is just a standard barley wine coming out at 9%. And as Shaun mentioned there, these first few beers that we're doing on this show and on the next Beastie O'Clock show are kind of the pilot brews that they were playing around with to see where they might want to go with this series. So and we have at this stage we've no idea what's coming through this series. We're as in the dark as everybody else. Shaun likes to keep an edge of excitement to what's going on. So we'll only be finding out about the beers a few days before we record these shows. That's nice. That's a really, really enjoyable barley wine. I would keep your eye out for that one. As Shaun said, again, these are very limited runs in terms of the bottles. You're only going to get these beers at events that you go to. But I tell you what, Harviestoun can make a barley wine. That's incredible.
That is far too easy for 9% as well.
Yeah. Shall we move on to something a bit darker and heavier then?
Yeah, so up next we've got, move that out of the way, we've got the Old Engine Oil Engineer's Reserve, and as Shaun said earlier, this is bottle conditioned. So we should hopefully getting a lot of those raw, original flavours coming through.
So this is basically Oladu before it's been aged.
Yeah.
Very excited about that then, because I am a massive fan of Oladu.
I do love Oladu as well. Right, there we go. Excited face on the webcam.
Oh, the aroma.
Oh, mate, that aroma. I just got my...
That is...
If you love Oladu, then this is going to knock your socks off.
It's big coffee, massive roasted malts in there. There's a little bit of smokiness in the background, but it's a massive hit of, it's like Oladu ramped up to 10, and this is actually 10.5% this one. So this is the Old Engine Oil Engineer's Reserve. It's a beer that has been available in bottles before, but not bottle conditioned. So this one is continuing to develop flavours in the bottle. We've got an age on this of December 2015, so that's at best a guide. This is one that's only going to get better with age.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Shall we give it a try then, mate?
Oh yes, please. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, that is ridiculous.
That's everything you love about Oladu and more. That is. I mean, we're both big fans of Oladu, but that is lovely. It's easy for a 10.5%. It's smooth. Slight stickiness to it. It's got that lovely chocolatey, malty smokiness to it. Oh. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Oh, actually, almost speechless on this one. It is the epiphany of smoothness. It's just absolutely... You take a first sip of it and you're just getting velvety smoothness straight away. And that continues, then you're getting waves of flavour coming through it. So you're getting the roasted malts coming through, a little bit of chocolate coming in there as well, maybe a little bit of vanilla and oak. And it's just smooth. And then it just finishes so smoothly and so easily that for a 10.5% beer, it's an incredible feat, this is. And as I say, I think this is one that's just going to get better with age as well. If you're a fan of Oladu, and if you do happen across this beer, do not turn down an opportunity to try it.
Indeed, and I just had another sip, and I know this, you have no reference point for what I'm about to say, but it's like thick Vegemite on burnt toast. If anyone listening has that taste reference, that's what it tastes like, as well as everything else. So that plus the sweetness, plus the warmth. I'll
tell you what, mate, if these two beers are anything to go by, this Wee Beastie series is going to be a hell of a ride. I know we're in a really fortunate position to be getting the bottles and to be reviewing these, and hopefully what we're trying to do through this series of podcasts is bring these flavours to the listeners and to try and encourage you to get out there. And if you see one of these events coming up and hear us talking about one of these events, get yourself along to one of the events and try these limited edition range of beers, because these are just going to be one-offs. I would hope that Harviestoun, though, really think about this Engineers Reserve being a permanent addition to their range, because that is stunning. Final thoughts on the two beers, mate?
Well, we always try to be as unbiased as possible, even when we work with breweries on these reviews and stuff. But when beers are this good, it's to think that these were just experiments that they've just done. They've just knocked them out to try, see what happens. And the barley wine, really it's not the best barley wine I've ever had, but it's incredibly drinkable. And if you want to get into barley wines and you don't mind a 9% beer, it will go down really easily. And not much of a barrier to entry for that barley wine. But this Engineers Reserve, mate, bloody hell. I love Oladu. And this... Oh... I could drink this all the time. At 10.5%, that's a bit dangerous, but...
Yeah. So while Mark continues to be speechless there, don't just take our word for it. You can also check out what Justin Mason's got to say about these beers as well, because he's in with us on this Wee Beastie ride. You can check out his latest blog at masonjust.blogspot.com, where he'll be reviewing these beers along with us as well. So, and those of you that listen to our normal Beer O'Clock show will know that Justin Mason's got one of the best palates that there is in the UK blogging scene. So he will pick out flavours that we can only hope to ever find in these beers. So do make sure you check out the blogs. Mark, what's coming up next time on the Beastie O'Clock show?
Okay, in episode 2 of the Beastie O'Clock show, which will be with us in 2 or 3 weeks' time, we're tackling Bitter and Twisted. So we've got a few variations of it that have been barrel-aged in for the Thistley Cross cider barrels. So we'll be doing that alongside your supermarket Bitter and Twisted, the one that you can get anywhere. So we'll be drinking those, comparing them and seeing what we think, and we'll have a lot more news about Wee Beastie as well.
Okay, so make sure you check in to the next episode of the Beastie O'Clock show, coming out in a few weeks' time at the Beastie Hour.